Welcome to Las Vegas and the 2025 HFA Trade Show, where I'm going to be talking to some of the industry leaders in the athlete recovery space to find out who they are, what they're all about, and what products they've got coming out in 2025. So let's go check them out. So I'm with Andy Dunn of JK here at the HFA Show 2025. Andy, tell us a little bit about what JK has here that they have to offer for everybody.
Yeah, so primarily a lot of the recovery devices that you see. So we've got lay down red light here. We've got a stand up red light unit there. Obviously looking at sort of all of sort of wavelengths and frequencies that you'd want those to be at. And then obviously over here on this side, we've actually got our well system wave. This is a multi-sensory massage unit that has aromatherapy, sound, obviously massage, and then active red light as well.
And how did you guys get your start? Was it with red light therapy?
No, our start actually was through tanning. So we operate the Ergoline brand from a tanning equipment perspective. The beauty of having tanning business and having light technology for as many years as we have, that really gives us a leg up from an evolutionary perspective to develop wellness products like this. So we utilize a lot of that light technology to be able to move now into red light and also into obviously the massage technology with the light and the multi-sensory.
So I see you've got a lot of different products, a lot of them light focused. Where do you see the future of that going from a consumer standpoint?
Yeah, we're really only seeing that more and more on a seemingly on a daily basis with conversations we're having with more and more commercial facilities, but also everyday consumers. They're so much more discerning now. They know more about the science around red light and light technology, and they want to understand it more and they want to be able to implement it into their life. So I think this is just the start of this, and I obviously we're at a pretty rapid trajectory right now, but I think that this is just going to continue to grow.
So do you think how people used to have tanning beds in their homes back in the 90s, this is sort of the future of that for the modern generation?
I think there's certainly an evolution of that. I mean, we've got customers asking us a lot of times about how do I get one at home? Could I have one at home? And so what I think you'll see is the technology change. The beauty of things like full LED beds is they generally consume less power. You can put them pretty much into a 208 or 220 outlet. And so they just become that bit more accessible. And I think once it's been out there and the technology's out there, as we all know with things like televisions, the prices come down a little bit. They become more affordable. And so I think that in the future, we could certainly see that being the case. And I think on the commercial side, I think you'll start to see sort of more good, better, best approaches happen. So you'll see sort of, people go through almost to like an entry level, a mid level, and a pro, if you will, level with that. So yeah, I think we're going to see this continue to explode.
And who's your primary demographic here at the show? Is it general consumers or is it commercial?
Mainly commercial. I would say probably 90% of the conversations we have and our product in general ends up being commercially focused. Everyone from, hospitality to day spas to mom and pop health clubs, all the way through to some of the big chains that are thinking more about recovery and rejuvenation and how do we actually support our members on that recovery journey? Because it's so important as we start to see the prevalence of strength training become more and more, that recovery on the other side of it is so important. And having spent sort of really the last almost 20 years of my life on the strength and cardio side of the business, I now understand really just how important that is from a recovery point of view.
Awesome. So if we wanted to check out one product, which one would you steer us towards?
Well system wave.
Well system wave. Okay, we'll check it out.
Multi-sensory, great from a massage perspective. Come back at the end of the day when your back hurts and your feet hurt, and that'll be the perfect solution.
And then last question, where would be the biggest consumer retailer or commercial retailer that someone could try one of these out at?
Yeah, so at the moment we have a number of as featured in. So we've got some pretty high-end spas with Woodhouse, with Sundara spas. We're working with Hilton, with Marriott. So there's a bunch of places that you can try a lot of these products.
Awesome, Andy. Well, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, yeah. It's got warm water that's actually massaging my back. And there's customization settings here based on your height, the type of massage you want, the body area, the intensity, the speed. You can change the lighting. So if you want to go red light, color, or aroma lighting, it's all customizable here. You've got a music soundtrack. You can adjust the volume here. You can see on the side here, this is where it's massaging me right now. Super interesting technology here. And it's really comfortable. It's nice and warm. Like You'd think with all the water in there that'd be cold, but it's almost like a hot tub level water. Just lay back and relax in this. Peter.
Hi.
Patrick Plank. I'm with Best Massage Tech. We're a YouTube channel that covers athlete recovery tools and devices.
Great.
You mind if I get a couple minutes for the channel?
Sure.
You mind telling us what is VA Body? And you've got some pretty futuristic looking products here. Just tell us what you guys are trying to promote today.
Awesome. So VA Body, we're a subsidiary of our parent company, Vacu Active, who's been manufacturing fitness, wellness, and cryo equipment for about 10 years out of Europe. We just recently launched our U.S. operations about 2 months ago. We have a showroom in Los Angeles. So today we're showing our fitness equipment, which I can show you over here. All of our equipment we're trying to approach from a multiple modality standpoint. So both our recumbent bike here, our InfraShape, as well as our Body Shape, are going to incorporate vacuum pressure. So our client will be wearing a skirt that goes around the edge of the device, and then there's a vacuum that removes air from the environment. So it's a pressurized environment, which is really great for lymphatic drainage as well as circulation. Both of these devices are also utilizing infrared as well as collagen lamps. So there will be heat circulating throughout the environment as well as the collagen lamp, which is great for skin health. Same with our InfraStep over here as well. That also utilizes both infrared as well as collagen lamp. Our roller here, our roll shape, is based on the ancient Asian therapeutic technique of reflexology. So it guides you through a program here where your client will start on the bench at the bottom of the feet and then work your way up through your body. So it's really great, again, for lymphatic drainage. This also has an infrared element to it, so it also heats the device as well.
That's awesome. We'd love to check out the roller if we can.
Okay, by all means.
So who's your primary demographic here? Is it commercial or is it consumer?
We're much more focused on the B2B side. We do see some opportunities with B2C, but we are here looking for relationships on the B2B side.
And if someone wanted to go test out one of your products, what's one of the main gyms or areas that they could go find your products in?
Yeah, so right now we are partnered with the Four Seasons in both Miami and Hawaii, but the best place to come and see the equipment is at our showroom in Los Angeles.
Okay, awesome. The red light therapy has become really popular in a lot of devices. Have you guys seen an increased demand for that, or where is that being driven from primarily?
Yeah, so all of our fitness equipment does have an infrared element to it. It's very popular with both gyms, wellness clinics, studios. So that's something that we definitely wanted to make sure we saw in our fitness devices.
So I just lean down on this? Is that what?
So again, you can utilize any part of your body that you want to. What's great about this is that, a gym or a clinic can bring their client to the device and then the program will walk them through it. So again,
Very user-friendly.
very user-friendly, and you started with your feet and then work your way up. So you're utilizing your quads, your hamstrings. There's a pad that you can sit down that you can get your back going as well. So it's really meant to be a full body recovery device, which is really great, again, for releasing the fascia and then for the lymphatic drainage as well.
Well, let's test it out. So it's like we just sit on it here. Oh, wow. Oh, it's really warm. You can feel the heat. Is it heated other than the red light?
No,
or the infrared?
The heat. Then you can also change the speed of it as well. Intensity.
And how many rotations per minute can it get up to?
I'm not sure.
No? Does this rotate the direction of it? It's really smooth feeling. Really, really warm. Really, really cool. Peter, I appreciate it. Thank you. So can you just tell us what is Frost Locker and what products are you guys showcasing here at the HFA show?
So the Frost Locker is the only thing we're showing at the show. And it's to basically remove cold plunges out of wellness places for gyms, athletes. We do a lot of, student housing, universities, professional sports teams. So this is really to make it easier for anybody to use the contrast therapy. We pair all our rooms with saunas if we can. So if somebody's able to get out of the sauna and go directly into the Frost Locker, you're going to expand your blood vessels in the sauna. And then in the Frost Locker, you're going to contract. So we really like to do that because from an ownership and operation standpoint, people don't want the wet area.
Right.
People don't want to have to deal with the dirty, slimy water at the end of the day because so-and-so got out of the sauna and didn't shower. And, from the people like the athletes or the students or anybody that wants to use it, this is a lot more comfortable for them. They don't have to go to the locker room, shower, put on their bathing suit, get in. They can roll in from the sauna and go straight into there. So it's really a beautiful thing. This is the answer. It's something that kind of just popped into the head. Like, why hasn't anybody done this yet? So that's the main reason why we designed this and why we're here today.
So tell us a little about it. How cold does it get? What's the footprint of it? Who are you primarily trying to showcase this to? Is it commercial? Is it more primarily B2B, or is it, consumer?
Yeah. So everything we do is commercial for the most part. We do have 4x4, 6x6, 8x8, 10x10. We have all these certain, cutouts of these modular units we can do. And those 4x4s can be used for gyms that are just trying to figure out a space for their cold plunge or cold therapy. And if they have a corner that's not being used, they can put something like a 4x4 there. Different than this unit is we typically will put everything in a framed room. So a room inside of a room. We do anything custom. It's limited to some 90 degrees, if if we need to do some degrees, we may be able to do it, but just with the material we use, if you can frame it, we can build it.
How cold does it get?
It gets to 35 degrees. Our unit in Idaho is where we're all based out of. Gets to 28 degrees. So it's damn cold.
And how does this differ from, people might be familiar with cryotherapy. How is this different from cryotherapy?
Cryo is kind of stolen the name. Cryo is basically the cold therapy. So, cryo kiosks, the guys next to us here, they are an electric for like cold therapy, I guess. And, there's different ones like the nitrogen, we call them nitrogen chambers. They're the ones that are,
And I think that's more traditionally what people would associate
Right.
cryotherapy with. You put the gloves on, you go in, and they blast you with a bunch of really cold air.
Right. That's, we a lot of people don't like wearing the gloves and having to have people stand there and operate it for them. You don't have to do that with this one. And, cold plunge is also a form of cryo. So we are just adding a different form of cryo for people to really save a lot of money on. These other chambers that you see at this event are probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. Ours is more than half of that. So
So it's basically the inverse of a sauna. And for places that would have 5-6 cold tubs, they could replace that with,
of course,
one frost locker.
Of course. Yeah, that's the goal. I see a lot of people on Instagram. I've had a lot of people reach out to me that have these kind of plunge houses or plunge rooms in their gyms that have 5+ cold plunges, and they just think about kind of their the revenue they can have per square foot. They have all these different cold plunges in a big area when they can have 6 people in a 6x6 frost locker, and that's probably with some clearance, the size of one cold plunge.
And last question I would have is, what would be like the recommended time frame that someone sit in the frost locker for after either a workout, or if they're doing contrast therapy? What do you guys typically recommend?
So it's all based on kind of the tolerance that you have. Someone that, like we could say Grandma Susie would be probably fine after 5 minutes. She would probably, without her tolerance and not being used to it, she would think that 5 minutes was enough. And on the signage that we provide with our frost lockers, we say that the beginners are about 5 minutes. And the 10-minute guys would be the intermediates. They've dabbled with it a little bit. They can go in there and we'd recommend probably about 10 minutes. And then as far as experts or people that are, really hardcore, they can go in wet. I think being wet out of like a sauna or a shower before really will, I know it does. It increases the effect of it by almost 5 times. Like you put your hand in the water, you put one up with the water and one dry. This hand that was in the water will feel cold 5 minutes after. This one won't, guaranteed. Tested it. It's cold. So that's what we recommend to our experts. Joe Rogan, Wim Hof probably want 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what are they're already committing 3+ hours a day to all their wellness, health and wellness lifestyle. So what's another, 10 minutes past their 5-minute cold plunge? So.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Cameron, I appreciate it. We'll go check it out here.